I'm now joined by Position 5 candidate, Ken Hoover. Welcome, Ken.
Well, thank you for having me.
We're delighted that you're here, and we don't have much time, so we're going to have to hurry a little bit. Okay. Number one, tell us your background and why you're interested in running for the school board.
I got started in all the school issues because I have 4 children. And in fact, when I ran for Shelby County School Board in 2010, my oldest son was a junior in high school. Well, he's now a sophomore in college. But we have this incredible opportunity in front of us to form a municipal school district. When Norris Todd 1.0 passed back in 2011, within a week, I started a Facebook group, Let's Go Get a Municipal School District. And it's something that I've been incredibly passionate about since it first became a possibility.
Good. And anything special you want to tell us about your children? You have 3 more in school.
Well, my oldest son, that is now a sophomore at Emerson College, was very heavily involved in the GHS-TV program. He was the Senate anchor on election night coverage. I think he was the producer for Crosstalk.
And for this show.
And for this show. So I have a great connection to Tennessee Talk.
Very good. Yeah. Tell us about best practices. If we're going to have a world-class system, we have to find out best practices. What's happening everywhere that really works and that we can adopt. And we're also concerned about keeping what's a best practice. For example, this program.
I don't think GHS-TV is duplicated anywhere in the country. I don't think there's a city-school partnership that produces an array of programming and a level of equipment. Being politically active, I've had a chance to visit some of the commercial TV stations in town and sit on their set and talk to their hosts. The operation here is right on par with the commercial TV stations in town, and it's incredible training for these students. So, yeah, we've got an absolute best practice in GHS-TV. The IB program is another example of a premier offering that we have today. I think that we have to be careful when we talk about this golden tomorrow. We recognize that we've got an incredible challenge from December 1st of this year to the day that school doors open in August of next year, just to put the nuts and bolts together to make the car run. We're not going to have spoilers and fins, and I don't think you're going to see a tremendous difference in programming, curriculum offering from this school year to next school year. There's simply not enough runway to get that plane off the ground. As you look forward, I'd like to see us graduating college sophomores. I know that we have dual enrollment offering today, and we've got a great, terrific AP offering. I'd like to see that enriched to the point that a student can truly graduate with 32 hours of college credit under their belt, and I think we can do it. I'd like to see us raise the AP and dual enrollment offering so that we're covering some engineering curriculum. My second son just started the industrial engineering program at the University of Tennessee. Can we get dual enrollment physics? Can we get dual enrollment calculus? Give those students a head start in programs that are often 5-year programs for even good students. There's been a lot of talk about foreign language in the elementary schools, and I think that's a terrific idea. So there are a lot of things that we'd like to explore. I think it's ambitious to believe that we're going to have very many of those things in place with 7 months to go from a standing start to a running school district.
Just a little bit aside to that, Mayor McDonald in Bartlett has talked about postponing the school year to after Labor Day. How does that?
You know, everybody has a favorite start date. Some people prefer to go to school when it's brutally hot in August and enjoy some of those early June days that are a little bit more pleasant as time off. There are some parts of the country that are moving towards year-round schooling. My sense is that, again, we're going to focus on getting the key important things right out of the box and come back and evaluate some other things. I'd really be open to looking at some kind of a summer session as almost the norm for most kids. That 10-week break between the end of class and the start of the next school year, every child, including me when I was a student, loses a lot of...
there's a lot of research to indicate how much is lost.
Your brain just starts to rust if you're not using it. So there are all kinds of things that we can look at, but I would predict that we'll look a lot like our neighboring school districts for a school year next year. And when you think about it, all of your friends are out of school and you're in school, and your friends are out. There's something to be said for paying some attention to what your neighboring school districts do and giving some consistency to your students.
Mm-hmm. Good. Now, let's talk about board dynamics and how boards are going to operate and how much they are going to micromanage or how much power they'll delegate.
Yeah, you know, it's a fascinating point. At the bottom of it all, a school board has two powers, really three. One is to hire and fire a superintendent, to write school board policy, and then, of course, they approve the annual budget. There's a tremendous influence that comes from approving the budget. While you may not specifically have line item veto, at the end of the day, you can tremendously influence line items through that power of approval. If you look at the Memphis City Schools, their policy manual is about 1,400 pages, and they write policies on everything at a very, very detailed level. If you look at the Maryville School District, their policy manual is probably 150 pages.
And it's an outstanding school district.
So, ideally, you hire a superintendent whose philosophy is sympathetic to the board's philosophy, where there's a sense of teamwork, not a sense of superior subordinate, and you discuss things, make your thoughts known, your wishes known, and the superintendent gives that full weight and consideration in the decisions that he makes. Mm-hmm. I know that a year ago, when we were elected, before the judge had said, sorry, that doesn't count, mm-hmm. The five of us had kind of a get acquainted session, and the five that were successful last November. And that's one of the things that we talked about is what's this policy manual going to look like. We had a little bit of a, oh my goodness, feel about things because it was very real. From December 1st to one day in August, we've got to open the doors to a school system. Mm-hmm. I think, personally, I would love to see a school district that's built completely around building level autonomy, that we have outstanding principals who have very nearly full autonomy within their building, and that what other districts call central office, I would call the school support center. That those support staff that don't operate inside a school building understand you have one mission, and that is to make that principal successful. When he says, I need this, you give him that. As a principal, that autonomy brings with it a pretty high level of accountability. You can't look back at the support center and say, well, you didn't give me this, you didn't give me that. It's on you. You deliver. And I think we'll be very successful. And I don't know that's the model we'll adopt. That's my thoughts at the moment. Mm-hmm. And I think we'll wind up with something that's close to that. And principals will love that. Principals will love having the autonomy and the accountability. Yeah. A teacher's not going to go to the principal and have the principal say, I'm sorry, central office won't let me do that. I would like to put the decision making where the work happens.
Very good, and thank you. We have zoomed through this again. So, Ken, I'll be looking forward to seeing election night come. Well, you're unopposed, mm-hmm. So election
Feel
night.
good about my chances.
Just very good, yes. And thank you so much, Ken.
Thank you for having
me. I want to thank all of you at home for joining us today on Tennessee Talks, and encourage you to get out and vote on November 7th. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time on Tennessee Talks.